If your feet crack, no matter what cream you use, you need to hear this. Those deep, painful fissures that split open on your heels and the balls of your feet, sometimes bleeding, the ones that come back no matter how much lotion or ointment you put on them. They aren't just dry skin. You haven't failed and you've tried hard. Expensive creams, medicated ointments, nightly routines, foot files, those overnight socks. The cracks come back anyway, usually worse after you've been on your feet all day. This has nothing to do with carelessness. Walk into any pharmacy and you'll see an entire aisle of foot creams. They all target the surface of your skin. But the damage causing your cracks isn't on the surface. It's 3 layers down. No cream can reach that. That's not a conspiracy. It's just a mismatch between the product and the actual problem. And every year you ignore it, the damage spreads. First, the numbness in your toes. Then a small cut you never noticed turns into an infection. That's how 73,000 Americans lose a foot every year. And it almost always starts with cracks that wouldn't heal. There's a different reason your feet keep cracking. It has nothing to do with your skin, your age, or the weather. And once you know what it actually is, you'll understand why every cream you've tried was doomed before you open the jar. Stay with me. I'm going to show you what's really happening and what you can do about it starting tonight. The real reason is that those cracks are your body waving a red flag about blood sugar that has been running too high. It is diabetes or the slow slide toward it quietly harming the tiny nerves and blood vessels that reach all the way down to your feet. Picture those nerves and vessels like delicate garden hoses running from your heart to your toes. They are supposed to carry steady flow, keep the skin moist from the inside, and send repair signals so everything stays supple and strong. When blood sugar stays elevated day after day, it is like pouring fine sand into those hoses. The flow slows. The nerves get irritated and start to misfire or fall asleep. The small glands that normally oil and hydrate the skin from within stop doing their job. So the skin dries out and turns brittle from the inside out. Cracks form, they split open, they bleed. And no lotion on the outside can unclog the hoses or wake up the nerves. That is why every cream you have tried eventually fails. It only touches the surface. It cannot fix the internal buildup or the signals that have gone quiet. Doctors who specialize in diabetic care will tell you the same thing. Cracked heels and slow healing skin are often the first visible sign that something deeper is going on with blood sugar and circulation. The feet show it before the lab work catches up. This kind of damage builds quietly for years before anyone connects the dots. And the longer it sits, the harder it gets to undo. I want to tell you about one person who lived exactly what you are living through right now and came out the other side. Margaret was 67 when she first came to see me. She is a retired school teacher from Atlanta who used to love her early morning walks around the neighborhood. She had the same deep cracks you are dealing with. They would open up after any day on her feet, sometimes bleed into her socks, and the pain made her cut her walk shorter and shorter until she mostly stopped altogether. She blamed herself, thought maybe she was just getting older or not moisturizing right. Her doctor called it dry skin with a touch of neuropathy and said to keep using the creams and maybe watch her sugar levels. She tried everything on the pharmacy shelf and a few prescription ointments too. Nothing held. When she sat down with me, she looked tired of the whole battle. I showed her the same thing I am about to show you. She started the daily practice that supports the gut and helps the body steady its blood sugar the way our elders always did. In 3 weeks, the stinging when she walked barefoot had eased. The cracks were shallower and not splitting open anymore. By 6 weeks, her heels looked smoother than they had in years. The skin felt softer, more alive. 8 weeks in, she was back to her full morning walks, holding her granddaughter's hand, no hesitation, no pain. She told me the best part was not even the feet themselves. It was getting her life back without feeling like her body was constantly fighting her. The creams and the ointments and even some of the medications people get for blood sugar are all trying to help in their own way. But most of them never reach the root of why the sugar stays high or why the nerves stay irritated. They treat the feet or the numbers on a lab sheet, but they do not fix what keeps feeding the problem every single day. Here is the chain no one usually explains. The cracking feet you see are only the surface sign. Underneath that surface is an imbalance in blood sugar regulation. The sugar in your blood has been running higher than your body can comfortably handle, and it is slowly damaging those tiny hoses and wires I told you about. That damage is what dries the skin from the inside and keeps the cracks coming back. But even deeper than the blood sugar imbalance is your gut. That is where the imbalance gets fed day after day, meal after meal. Your gut and your blood sugar talk to each other constantly. When the gut is out of balance, it sends signals that make blood sugar harder to control. When blood sugar stays high, it inflames the gut lining and throws the bacteria there even more out of whack. It becomes a loop that has probably been running quietly for years. The high sugar feeds the gut trouble. The gut trouble feeds the high sugar. The nerves in your feet pay the price. That is why nothing you tried ever held for long. You were always fighting the loop from the wrong end. The good news is the gut only needs 3 things to settle this loop and start calming the blood sugar imbalance it sends out into the body. It needs good living bacteria to bring balance back. It needs the kind of fiber those bacteria love to eat so they can multiply and do their job. And it needs the healing compounds those bacteria make once they are well fed. Those compounds gently lower inflammation and help the body regulate sugar the way it was designed to. That drink is kombucha. The live cultures are the good bacteria. The brewing process with tea and fruit gives those bacteria the fiber they thrive on. And as they ferment, they produce organic acids and short-chain fatty acids that research has linked to better blood sugar regulation and lower inflammation. When you give the gut what it needs every day, the blood sugar starts to even out. The little hoses and wires in your feet get clearer flow again. The nerves wake up and send the right moisture and repair signals. The skin stops drying out from the inside. The cracks begin to heal on their own and stay healed. This is what I give the people who come to me with feet that crack like yours. The simplest way to support your gut every day is fermented food and drink with live cultures in it. Real kombucha is one of the best because it gives you the live bacteria, the fiber they feed on, and the compounds they produce, all in one. I make my own kombucha at home because I have the time and the knowledge. But for everyone watching online who can't brew their own, I give BoochBod Kombucha Gummies. The link is in the description, or you can search BoochBod Kombucha Gummies on Amazon. One woman said the cracks that used to open up after a day of standing are just gone. Another mentioned walking barefoot on the carpet without that sharp sting anymore. Most people don't notice it happening day to day. Then one morning they realize they haven't thought about their feet in weeks. And that's when it hits them how much pain they've just been living with. Remember Margaret from Atlanta? She is out there every morning now, walking those neighborhood paths with her granddaughter, feet strong and comfortable, no more hesitation. The same path is open to you. Whether you're 60, 70, or 80, your body still knows how to do this work. It just needs the right input. If you want to try the kombucha gummies, the link is in the description. And if this helped, hit subscribe. I cover one of these root cause topics every week. See you next time.